मनोमयः तन्निरोधोष्यमरणम् आविर्भावस्तु संभवा जीवो हि यस्य न गोदेहो भूतेन्द्रियमनोमयः तन्निरोधशमरणम् आविर्भावस्तु संभवा. Synonyms: Jivaha, the living entity; he, indeed; Asya, of him; Anugaha, suitable; Dehaha, body; Bhuta, gross material elements; Indriya, senses; Manaha, mind; Mayaha, made of; Tat, of the body; Nirodhaha, destruction; Asya, of the living entity; Maranam, death; Avirbhavaha, manifestation; to, but; Sambhava, birth. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: in this way, the living entity gets a suitable body with a material mind and senses, according to his fruitive activities. When the reaction of his particular activity, when the reaction of his particular activity comes to an end, that end is called death. And when a particular type of reaction begins, that beginning is called birth. Purport: from time immemorial, the living entity travels in the different species of life on the different planets almost perpetually. This process is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Brahmayam sarvabhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. Under the spell of Maya, everyone is wandering throughout the universe on the carriage of the body offered by the material energy. Materialistic life involves a series of actions and reactions. It is a long film spool of actions and reactions, and one lifespan is just a flash in such a reactionary show. When a child is born, it is to be understood that his particular type of body is the beginning of another set of activities. And when an old man dies, it is to be understood that one set of reactionary activities is finished. We can see that because of different reactionary activities, one man is born in a rich family and another is born in a poor family, although both of them are born in the same place at the same moment and in the same atmosphere. One who is carrying pious activity with him is given a chance to take his birth in a rich or pious family, and one who is carrying impious activity is given a chance to take birth in a lower, poor family. The change of body means a change to a different field of activities. Similarly, when the body of the boy changes into that of youth, the boyish activities change into youthful activities. It is clear that a particular body is given to the living entity for a particular type of activity. This process is going on perpetually from a time which is impossible to trace out. Vaishnava poets therefore say Anadi Karma Phale, which means that these actions and reactions of one's activity cannot be traced, for they may be even continue from the last millennium of Brahma's birth to the next millennium. We have seen the example in the life of Narada Muni. In one millennium, he was son of a maidservant, and in the next millennium, he became a great sage. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalaam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपीश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. जीवो हि अस्यानुगो देहो भूतेन्द्रिय मनोमयः तन्निरोधस्य मरणम् आविर्भावस्तु संभवः. So a living entity goes from body to body and enjoys according to the karmas. It can be enjoy or it can go through the miseries depending upon the reactions meant for that body. And Srila Prabhupada mentions this journey or one life is like just a flash in the pool of a series of what the word he uses in the series of um, yeah, it's in the series of whole list of film, like I think it's in the Prabhupada's time, the film or the camera, there are multiple pictures, right? One of those pictures or one of that picture out of a film is one lifetime. So like that, there are millions of lifetimes, millions of the pool is big. It's a big pool of a film. In that pool of film, one lifetime just goes like a flash, just like that, right? So that's what Srila Prabhupada compares here. So like that, Jiva goes from one body to another body, right? The first verse in this chapter says that karmana daiva netrena jantur dehopapattaye, meaning according to the Lord Kapila says this verse saying that under the supervision of the Supreme Lord and according to the result of his work, the living entity, the soul, obtains a material body. So, according to the karmas, whatever they have performed, whatever the living entity has performed in the previous lives, so this keeps this cycle of life and death will keep go on. And Bhagavad Gita, a famous verse 227, says, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur, dhruvam janma mrityasya cha, right? Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur. Dhruva is a fact. It's a fact that uh, once a birth is taken place, a death has to happen, right? It's a fact. Similarly, the another fact is Dhruvam Janma Mritisya cha. Well, the one who has, yeah. So the fact is like one who has taken birth is sure to die, and after death, one is sure to take birth. So these are the two facts. With these facts in this material world, the cycle of life and death will keep continuing and rotating, uh, cycling for anadi perpetually. I was reading, trying to see what is perpetually. The meaning of perpetually means there is no limit, there is no end. We don't know when it started, and it keeps going on. And Srila Prabhupada quotes an example of Narada Muni. His life in the previous day or previous millennium was a son of a maid servant. In the next millennium, he became the Narada Muni, the son of Lord Brahma. So what we're saying is like these reactions will keep going on, and they keep moving, right? Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha. um, so then once the death happens, karmana daiva netrena, according to the karmas and under the supervision of the Lord. Supervision of the Lord. Daiva netrena means like supervision of the Lord or supervision of the Maya Devi, the Lord's energy. This living entity will take birth, right? Um, so this karma bandhana will apply to whom? It applies to everyone, every living entity from the Brahma Loka to the down to the insect, right? What was that verse in Brahma Samhita? Yastvindra Gopamata Vendra Mahoshva Karma Bandhana Rupa Falabhajana Matanoti, right? Yes, Indra Gopam, the name of the insect called as Indra Gopa. It's a very tiny insect. That's what I understand. So this tiny insect, starting from this tiny insect called as Indra Gopa, to the level of Indra, the king of the demigods. Indraji has a very big position. He's a king of the demigods. So all these are living entities in this material world. And what do they do? Bandhanurupa Falabhajanam, according to their reactions, according to their birth, according to their death, sorry, according to their reactions in the previous life, they have these bandhanas or the ties with this material world, bondage with this material world, right? And they enjoy or suffer. Bhajana matanoti. So they enjoy or suffer according to their reactions or according to their activities in the previous lives. So this cycle not only applies for only certain people or only the people in this material world or only to the human beings. No, it applies to each and every living entity in this material world, starting from Indragopa insect to the Indra, the Lord of the universe, sorry, the Lord of the demigods, right? So all these living entities, they're going through the same cycle. What is that cycle? Life and death, right? Birth and death. So this cycle is happening. Then the Brahmaji says that in the same verse, Karmani nidrahati kintucha bhakti bhajam, right? Bhakti bhajam, when one surrenders to Krishna, when one follows the bhakti yoga, when one um, starts devotional life, what happened? Karmani, all these activities will get nidrahati, no, sorry, nirdahati. So they will be burnt away. All these karmas will be burnt away, even though this law applies to each and every living entity. But whoever takes to the process of bhakti, for them, this karmani nidrahati, like nirdahati, all these activities will be burnt away just by taking to the process of Krishna. So what is that verse we have? Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalonmukham krameneva praliyate Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. Aprarabdha, there is the whatever we are suffering in this material world, or the activities or the results we are performing or what we are getting in this world is prarabdha. We know that, right? You say, hey, hey, I lost my job. Oh, it's a prarabdha. Just handle it or tolerate it. That's what we say, right? It's prarabdha. That's what is written. I don't have a house. It's prarabdha. He's super rich. It's prarabdha. Means those are the results which we are enjoying or suffering in this world because of the prarabdha. But after prarabdha or in the back of prarabdha, there is some called as aprarabdha. Aprarabdha means the results which are not yet enjoyed or suffered, which we didn't go through those results, right? The reactions of those activities are not done yet. So that is aprarabdha. So there are three types of aprarabdha. What are that? Phalonmukham, Papam, Phalonmukham, Kutam, and Bijam. So there are three types, right? Phalonmukham means reactions waiting to take effect. So these are the reactions which will come maybe tomorrow, in the future, tomorrow, maybe after 1 year, or maybe in the next birth. So these are already there. They are fructified. They are ready to come to you. Okay, and there is Kutam, which is the reactions which are dormant, still in the process of coming to the fructification or fruitification. I don't know that word, fruition, like whatever. Those are dormant, that they're gonna come, right? And there is something called as bijam, which is in the seed form. That means they're there, but they haven't grown into, they haven't grown, or there's a, like, the in the starting position, that they're there, okay. The kutam is like reactions further dormant than the falon mukam are the reactions which are ready to come, maybe in the future, next second, in the evening, or today's evening, or starting from at this moment in the future. So all these reactions are there, right? What happens to these reactions? Vishnu Bhakti Ratatmanam, the one who surrenders to Vishnu, or one who surrenders to the Bhakti, devotion, Vishnu Bhakti, what happens to them? The aprarabdha means, aprarabdha includes these three levels of reactions that's supposed to happen, that's supposed to come. All this will be krameneva praliyate, will be vanquished. How do they vanquish? Slowly and steadily. The moment you start from the bhakti, right? The way we start from the bhakti, from starting from that bhakti point, the way we grow into the bhakti, this putam, bijam, and phalonmukam reactions will be vanquished. This is the verse from Padma Purana. Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalonmukam krameneva praliyate Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. So once you you get attracted to the Vishnu Bhakti, when you start enjoying the Vishnu Bhakti, this these sins will get vanquished, or these reactions will get vanquished. So that's why Krishna, Lord Krishna, yeah, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Maja. Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Suchaha. Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo. Sarva Papa means the papas which are not only happening now, the reactions that which are not happening now, or the but also the papas which were like, as I said, those in the dormant stage, all those papas will be taken care by Krishna, right? Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Krishna is saying that directly in Bhagavad Gita. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. All these reactions of birth, death, everything will be vanquished. Now, what is the process? The process is, again, Mother Devahuti mentions in the 33rd chapter, um, right, 6th verse, Ennamadheya Shravananu Nanu Kirtanat Yat Prahavad Yah Smaranad Api Kvachit Swadopi Sadhya Shavanaya Kalpate Kutah Punaste Bhagavanu Darshanat. Mother Devahuti is saying that the power of the names of the Lord is so much so that listening to them, singing them, right, or chanting them, remembering them, what happens? Swadha or Swaadha, the one who eats the dog, or dog eaters, meaning the lowest level of the mankind is a dog eater. So that human being who eats the dogs can also becomes, or can also be elevated to the position of a Savanaya, the one who can chant the um, Brahmana mantras, or the mantras who can, I mean, the one who can perform the spiritual rites or yajnas, kind of position the dog eaters can get. Okay, that is by chanting the names of the Lord and listening to them, and yeah, Shravanad, yeah, chanting, and by offering obeisances and by remembering them, right? Shravanad, Kirtanad, Pravanad, by offering obeisances, right? Shmaranad, by remembering. But just by doing these devotional activities, a dog eater can be transformed into a Brahmana who can chant the mantras of, like, special mantras like Gayatri mantras, and who can perform the yagnas. That is the specialty of mantras. Then Mother Devati is saying that what would be Kutah Punaste Bhagavana Darshanat? What would be the position of the people, or the people who are already taking the darshan of the Lord? That if you just see the darshan of the Lord, meaning the if we talk about the dog eaters, they can be elevated. Then why not? Or what would be the what would happen if what would be the transformation of a person who is already in this process and who is directly watching the Lord face to face? That is the Mother Devati is saying. So, very powerful verse. And so this life is, we have a life and death, right? The verse says that there is a, from Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, from the time immemorial, the living entity travels in different pieces of species of life and the different planets almost perpetually. So from time immemorial, I mean, from the long time, what's happening? The entities, living entities, travel in a different species of life. It's not like I get a human body now, doesn't guarantee that we'll get a human body again. There are 84 million, right? Species of life, and we may get any of the other body. It can be Indra Gopa some other day. It can be Indra some other day, in some other life. So this process is happening for long time. Okay. Materialistic life involves a series of actions and reactions. Social Prabhupada mentions it's materialistic life, meaning the life in this material world, the life in this world which we are living in. this is materialistic life, involves a series of actions and reactions, always actions and reactions. It is a long film spool of actions and reactions, and one lifespan is just a flash of it. Okay, yeah, we spoke about it. When a child is born, it is to be understood that his particular type of body is the beginning of another set of activities. So, if a child is born, he's born with prarabdha, right? We say, hey, these are the activities he has to perform in this life. Some may be born as rich, some may be born as poor. I had this very important question in my beginning of the Krishna conscious life, actually, which this point attracted me more to the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. What is that? That why someone is, the question that was asked for me was, why someone is born as poor and someone is born as rich? What makes the difference? Right? How one is born in poor, how one is born in as rich? So if one is born as poor, look at the conditions. He may not have basic needs to run this life. He may not have food to eat. He may not have clothes to wear. He may not have house to live. That is the condition, right? He's born as poor. And if he's born as rich, has so much so that all this materially he must be opulent, right? He must be traveling in the cars, rich. There is nothing shortage for him in this material world. Everything is covered without asking. He gets a food in a platter, golden platter, and he doesn't want to eat it. So this was intriguing for me when I was growing up, or when I came to Krishna consciousness, and this was a question asked for me. So my answer was, maybe God made them like that, right? God made them like that. Then the another question is, why God is partial? Is God partial to everyone? Why God has made someone poor, made someone rich? This is a point to think, right? Krishna says that I am impartial to everyone. He has no business into the lives of living entities. He is, as a dear father of all these living entities, he has a concern to take them back home, back to Godhead with him. That is the only concern he has. But why this living entity like this? Why that living entity? No, there are millions and millions of living entities, and the living entities or suffer their reactions because of their activities they perform. Right? Because of the activities the living entities perform, they take the particular body, and the let's say if one living entity has performed enormous piety in one life, like donating to cows, feeding the brahmanas, performing all the good activities, being a human, right? Being a human is very important. Being a human means uh, having concern for others, um, being very like thinking about others' comfort more than us, and thinking about um, the performing duties, that performing actions in such a way that it'll not disturb others, right? So like, if being human is like that, like having concern, having emotions, having empathy, living with empathy. So if you perform active enormous piety like this, then that person will have a birth in the heavenly planet, right? When a person has a birth in a heavenly planet, that activities which were lined up for him on that birth is to enjoy, because he has done the piety, right? That activities which were um, scheduled for him in that birth, as a part of the heavenly planet, as a resident of heaven, he has to enjoy all the piety he has done. So he'll have all the comforts, everything, a special body. Srila Prabhupada mentions it's a carriage. Body is a carriage of the living entity. So one body to another body, there is the living entity passes through, And during that carriage, depending upon the body, if you are in a um, like old rotten car, it will be slow. It will not go. It'll be, or if you are in the on the GSP or Route 1, you're super slow. You have to stop at every light. There are hundreds of lights towards your destination. You have to stop. But if you're on the turnpike, if you have, I don't know, the best car, best of the best cars, right? Um, Whatever, Mercedes, whatever. So then the ride is smooth. You don't have lights to stop. You can maintain your speed. We can go at 65, 70 miles per hour. But on the Route 1, you have to stop every minute. I mean, every light. You can reach hardly like 40, 45, and then you have to stop. Then again, you have to increase. So similarly, body is a carriage, body is a carriage for the living entity. Depending upon the activities we have performed in the previous lives, we get the body, and that body, like for in our example, in the heavenly planets, the living entity, the resident of heavenly planets, has a body, that is full of luster, that is full of that they don't have smelling bodies like in humans in the earth. So they enjoy the body, and they have to go through the reactions of whatever he has done. Similarly, if a body is provided, if the actions of a person in this life is super bad, right? He's always tormenting. He was anger, lust, greed, right? All this, if you are with all these qualities, then the body, you will go to the hellish planets. So hellish planets, then there is a body given to them, which will suffer. Like if Maharaj explains that if one slap is given to the human, there is some pain, right? But the body which is in the hellish planets, if you give one slap, it is equivalent to 1,000 times, that it is multiplied by 1,000 times. That is the pain that body will suffer, right? Let's say if we slap a human, the human will have pain. If you slap a iron rod or a pillar, that the pillar doesn't even feel it, right? But in this case, in the hellish planet, the body is made in such a way that the suffering is multiplied 1,000 times, on a compared to the normal body. So this body is a carriage. So what we have to do? What we have to do is we have to surrender to Krishna, as Krishna said, "Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja," and um, always depend on Him, behave sensibly, responsibly, with empathy, and perform our devotional activities, so that we don't have to go through this um, life and death cycle. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna Prabhu. I would like to wish everybody a safe and, and Krishna conscious day and weekend ahead. Tomorrow is Dasera. We'll have special Govindas. So you're most welcome. Thank you, Govindas. On Sunday, we have Braj Bihari Prabhu coming from Chapati for our Sunday feast class. And in the morning, Naman Prabhu is there. Yeah. 8 to 9 also will have a special speaker on Sunday morning. I don't know the speaker, but yeah. Sunday is also Ekadasi, minimally fasting from grains and beans and increasing our Krishna consciousness. Many in Gaudiya Vaishnavism follow beginning of Kartik from Ekadasi. They follow it from Purnima to Purnima, and Purnima is on October 17th, beginning of Kartik. Yeah. So many important festivities coming around. We like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Narsingho, Jai Narsingho, Jai Narsingho, Praladesha, Jaya Padnamukha Padmaplinga. Ugraveera Mahavishnu Grantam Sarvatomukam Narsingam Vishnam Bhadram Nityam Nityam Namiham. Narsingha Bhagwan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas, Vanchakalpataru Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Pavane Bhayo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Vaishnavinda ki jai, Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, Hari Krishna.
Thank you, Hari Krishna Prabhu. Thank you, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Krishna.